Alright, if you follow NBA 2K simulations, you know 2K thinks Luka's the best player in the fucking world. So today we're gonna test that. We're taking Luka Doncic and putting him on 10 different teams in 10 different seasons. He's probably gonna win MVP every single damn year, but in year number 1, we're just gonna keep him on this stock Mavericks team. The Mavs were picked to finish 13th in the power rankings. And golly, 2K! Luka and the Mavs win their first game of the season, and Doncic had 42 points, 19 rebounds, and 15 assists on 16 for 30 shooting. This is gonna be a crazy simulation. When we simulated to the end of the first year, obviously Luka was an all-star captain, and to nobody's surprise, he wins MVP, averaging 37 points, 11 rebounds, and 9 assists. Obviously, this would mean that he makes All-NBA first team, and somehow 2K thinks he's going to make All-Defensive first team. God, the Luka bias is so crazy. The 37 points per game was obviously good enough to lead the NBA in scoring. Luka also finished top 3 in the league in rebounds, and top 3 in the league in the assist category. The Mavericks finished with a record of 45 and 37, which got them the 6th seed in this NBA playoffs. Unfortunately, we simulated the first round of this series. Things did not go well for the Mavericks as they were eliminated. They lost in 5 games to the Denver Nuggets, and in that series, Luka averaged 34 points, 7 rebounds, 9 assists, and 2 steals, but it just wasn't enough for the Mavericks. Cleveland wins the NBA title, and Jarrett Allen wins Finals MVP, but now it's time to get into year number 2, where Luka Doncic will be a member of the San Antonio Spurs, because they finished dead last in the power rankings at the end of last season. This team will have Luka, Keldon Johnson, and Christian Wood. I think that should be a playoff team in the West, and in his first game for his new team, Luka Doncic goes off again for 41 points, 16 rebounds, and 11 assists on 7 for 11 from the three-point line. However, in this season, the San Antonio Spurs mightily struggled to win games, which shockingly made it so Luka Doncic actually did not win MVP of the season. Don't get me wrong, he did make All-NBA first team, where he went and averaged 27 points, 11 rebounds, and 10 assists, a damn triple-double. His Spurs finished with a record of 35 and 47 on the year, which went ahead and put them in a play-in game against the Clippers, and they would have their hands full in this game with Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. Hopefully, Christian can lay the wood. We went ahead and simulated this do-or-die play-in game, where the LA Clippers would end up winning 106 to 92. Luka had a mediocre game for his standards, only 23 points, 11 rebounds, and 5 assists, meaning that his San Antonio Spurs had been eliminated. We simulated the rest of the playoffs. The New Orleans Pelicans win the NBA title, and Zion Williamson win Finals MVP, averaging 23 and 9. For season number 3, though, we're going to take Luka Doncic out to Portland, where he will be teaming up with another player in some new threads, Bradley Beal. Somehow the Trailblazers are picked to finish dead last in the Western Conference. I think with this duo, they should be fine. This season, Luka was back to his winning ways as he won MVP, and his Portland Trailblazers got the number 1 seed as they finished with a damn good record of 55 and 27. Luka also got some help from Bradley Beal as he averaged 20 points, 3 rebounds, and 4 assists. I find this interesting, but Ja Morant, Giannis, and Luka are all tied at a 98 overall for highest in the league. LaMelo Ball's up to a 96. This could make for an interesting playoff. And just like that, before you knew it, Portland and Luka were in the Western Conference Finals. Up to this point in the playoffs, Luka's averaging 30 points, 9 rebounds, and 11 assists. But now they're going to be taking on a very tough Denver Nuggets team with Nikola Jokic. And Portland would find themselves down 3-2 in the series. Luka has yet to win a title in this simulation. If he wants to keep those dreams alive, he's going to have to win this game. However, when we went ahead and simulated, things did not look too good, as they found themselves down 5 points with 37 seconds to go. However, Luka and Bradley Beal are both in the game, and Bradley Beal's going to be going to the free throw line. First free throw is going to be up and good. Second free throw is going to be up and good as well. However, the Nuggets would go to the free throw line and hit a pair of clutch free throws themselves. Luka was officially in desperation mode as he had to get a bucket right here, but he's going to pass it to Shaedon Sharpe, who's going to shoot a shot and miss, and that's going to freaking do it, man. Luka and Portland lose a heartbreaker, which means the Denver Nuggets are your Western Conference champions. Luka did not have a very good game as he only had 12 points, 9 rebounds, and 12 assists. Cavs would go on to win another championship, and this time Darius Garland won Finals MVP. It's time to get into the next simulation, where we're going to be taking Luka Doncic and putting him on the Clippers. This is year 4 of this simulation, and this Clipper squad is actually pretty solid, although they do have a sex offender on the team. With Luka, the Clippers were picked to finish at the top of the Western Conference, but unfortunately the season did not really play out that way. LaMelo Ball won MVP, averaging 34 points, 6 rebounds, and 10 assists, and Luka Doncic did make All-NBA first team, where he went ahead and averaged 34 points, 10 rebounds, and 11 assists. Jesus, man. But his LA Clippers didn't come close to even making the play-in game, much less the actual playoffs. They finished near the bottom of the Western Conference with a record of 27 and 55. I guess he just didn't have enough help, which looking at this roster now, it is kind of mid, I guess. The Cleveland Cavaliers win another fucking NBA title, and Darius Garland wins Finals MVP, officially making them the new dynasty. And in season number 5, Luka would be trying to put that dominance to bed, as he's going to now be a member of the New York Knickerbockers. And this Knicks team looks ridiculous, as you have Sabonis, Jalen Brunson, and Luka Doncic. But the rest of the NBA is looking crazy, as you got Giannis on the Celtics, you got Jason Tatum on the Nets, Stephen Curry's on the fucking Sacramento Kings. What the hell? I don't know, but I have high expectations for the Knicks this year. No 1% from the free throw line. That was a mouthful.
What do you mean by that?
But to add to the excitement of the season even team is absolutely loaded as well. You got Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Josh Giddey, Chet Holmgren. You got some other guys as well. But we went ahead and simulated this one, and the Knicks found themselves running away with the game up by 22 with 20 seconds to go. This meant that Luka Doncic and the New York Knicks would go ahead and win their first NBA title as a team. Luka would also win Finals MVP, as he averaged 29 points, 9 rebounds, and 9 assists in the finals. So Luka won his first title in the Big Apple, meaning it was only right for him to stay close to home in Brooklyn, as he was teaming up with Jason Tatum, Anthony Edwards, and Mo Bamba to create a fucking crazy super team. It goes without saying this team was picked to finish near the top of the NBA. And that's exactly what would happen as Luka wins another MVP, averaging 29, 10, and 12. Luka makes All-NBA first team, and his teammate Jason Tatum makes All-NBA second team. And most importantly, their Brooklyn Nets finished with a record of 59 and 23, being them the #1 seed in the entire playoffs. This would lead them to making the NBA Finals again, where they are going to easily win a championship. And Luka Doncic wins Finals MVP, averaging 42 points, 12 rebounds, and 13 assists. This meant that in back-to-back seasons for Luka, he won the MVP and titles for both New York squads. But now it was time for him to take his talent elsewhere, and that elsewhere would be Charlotte. And we're getting to the point in the simulation where we have a ton of created players on the rosters. Luka is still extremely highly rated at a 97 overall. I don't know how good this team's gonna be. Well, it looks like they're going to be pretty fucking good. Luka didn't win MVP this year. It was actually Jaden Ivey. His Hornets team finished extremely well with a record of 58 and 24, getting him the #1 seed in the Eastern Conference. Luka still did his typical Luka thing, as he averaged 29 points, 8 rebounds, and 9 assists. But unfortunately, the Hornets were actually upset in the first round. They ended up losing to an extremely stacked Orlando Magic team with Paolo Banchero, Jalen Suggs, and De'Aaron Fox. And that's an extremely disappointing season for them, as the Rockets win the title. Jabari Smith Jr. becoming an absolute superstar, winning Finals MVP. That was a quicker year than I anticipated. But now we're in the 8th season of this simulation, and Luka's headed back to the West Coast, as he'll be on the Phoenix Suns this season. This Phoenix team isn't near as good as the Phoenix teams that we know in the modern day, though, and that ended up leading to an absolutely awful season for the Suns. Ja Morant wins his first MVP of this simulation, averaging 36, 7, and 13, and Luka Doncic did find himself on All-NBA second team, where he averaged 36 points, 10 rebounds, and 9 assists. But again, his Suns team was absolutely terrible, as they finished with a record of 35 and 47. I guess just none of these creative players really gave him any help. So in this season, we have a playoffs without Luka. Apparently, Kyrie Irving's on the LA Lakers. That's interesting. The Lakers would end up losing to the Pacers in the NBA Finals, where DeJounte Murray wins Finals MVP, averaging 33, 7, and 13. This Lakers team is very interesting. Kyrie Irving, Jalen Green, Jared Allen. The sunny Southern Cal area with Kyrie Irving and Jalen Green is exactly where Luka Doncic would be playing his next season. This is season number time, so his time is dwindling. But Luka and the Lakers are taking full advantage of the moment, as he wins another MVP. Kyrie Irving wins 6th Man of the Year, averaging 22, 2, and 8 after being moved to the bench with Luka's arrival. And this Lakers team with Luka is thriving, as they got the #1 seed in the playoffs after finishing with a record of 60 and 22 on the season. Both Luka and Jalen Green finished with over 30 points per game, and all the stats on everyone on this roster are pretty nuts. We went ahead and simulated the playoffs, though. What the fuck? The Lakers have been eliminated. Got swept by the Utah Jazz? Okay, I guess this Jazz team isn't bad. They do have Darius Garland and Shaedon Sharpe. Man, I was not expecting that at all, as the Pacers win another title, with DeJounte Murray winning another Finals MVP. And as we head into this last season of the video, Luka is officially ring chasing, as he's joining the defending champion Indiana Pacers. The team is picked to finish 6th in the power rankings, and I don't blame him, man, because this team is loaded. They got Jalen Suggs coming off the bench. Now let's see how it goes in this last time we simulate. Jeez, man, they dropped 174 on the fucking Clippers. And in that game, Luka had 37, 8, and 10, and we had a bunch of other players scoring a lot of points. And if you just look at all the scores on this sim, they're putting up a ridiculous amount of points. Luka would, of course, win MVP for what would be the last time in this simulation, as his Pacers would finish with a record of 54 and 28. Holy shit, Jalen Green led the league in scoring at 37 points a game. LaMelo Ball averaged 34, 7, and 12. How did one of those two not win MVP? Luka bias, man. Luka bias. But anyways, we went ahead and simulated these playoffs, where Luka Doncic would find himself in the finals for one last time. And it looks like the Pacers are going to end up pulling this one out, and they do. Luka wins Finals MVP and the championship for the very, very last time. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that's going to bring this Luka simulation to a close. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and turn on post notifications. But I just want to say thank you so much for the support on the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by, and I'm becoming attraction.